Hello guys, in this session we will see about some sample programs related to structures like how to define a structure, how to access the structure members, etc. And also we will get back to the remaining concepts of structure. Now let's look into a simple structure program. Here this program is about to get the student details and print the details to the user. So here I have declared a structure student, okay, with the member members of structures as name, role and mark of different data type. Then coming inside your main, I have declared, declared the structure student variable yes over here. And then I am getting the details from the user for that structure yes. Okay, so here I have got the name, roll number and the marks, and then I am printing the details that have been got from the user on the screen. So here I'm going to enter the name of the student, roll number and then mark. So it is now printing the name, roll number and mark of that student. This is a quite simple example. So from this example, you can clearly note that the members of this structure are accessed by the dot operator as we have seen. Okay, so when I want to get the name of a student without using a structure, I will just give it as name alone. But whereas I want to access a member of the structure, I need to give the variable name followed by a dot operator and then the name or the member of that student structure. Similarly for roll number, I am getting it by using the variable name of the student yes dot, which is nothing but a dot operator, and then followed by the member of this structure row. Similarly for mark also. I hope now everyone is clear by how to use the structures in your program. Okay. So next we have seen about initialization of structures. So here coming to the program for initialization. Similarly, I have taken a student structure which has a name, role, remark and mark as your members of that structure. And can you guess where I have given the variable name? Yeah, here the variable name is S1, which I have given inside my main program. Okay, so you can also initialize this structure before main also. It is also permissible. Okay, so here I'm just initializing all the values. In the previous example, we have seen we will be getting the values from the user and then we are displaying the values. Whereas in this program, I'm initializing all the values here and then I am printing rather than getting it from the user. Okay. Now let's just execute this program and check. See, all the values that I have initialized has been printed over here. Okay. So this is for initializing the variables present in your structure. So we have seen that partial initialization is also possible in structures. So what happens if I'm going to just initialize partially and leave out the remaining members? That is here in this program, I just initialized only the name and roll number and I haven't initialized remark or mark. So in this case, for remark, it will be just having a null character and for mark, it will be as 0 since I haven't done any initialization over here. Okay, we will see this now. So as you can see over here, I have initialized only two values and I haven't initialized remarks and marks column and henceforth here in my output, I don't have any remarks. Similarly, mark is also be given as 0. Okay, so this is in regard with your partial initialization. Okay. Next, we will be seeing about comparing and copying the structure variables. So coming to copying and comparing structure variables, So two variables of same structure type can be copied in the same way as ordinary variables. Uh, we are all aware that if I want to copy a value from one variable to another variable, if it is of same data type integer, it is easy for us to do. Similar thing can be followed in the case of structure variables also. Say here what happens is student2 variable contents has been, or the members of the student2, the values in the member functions of a student2 is being copied to student1. Similarly, student1 variable can also be copied to student2. However, you cannot compare the variables of a structure directly by giving equal to or not equal to. Rather, you can do this by using the members of that structure. Okay. So here like this, using a string compare, we can compare the member of that name is a member of that structure student1, and this name too can be compared. If the both member of that structure are equal, then it will print that student1 and student2 are same. So I'll just explain this example in code blocks. So here, coming as usual, I have a structure called student which has two member variables like name and roll number. Okay, these are the structure member or structure elements we call so. Okay, and then I have a variable called student1 wherein I am initializing these elements of the structure to a name and a roll number for it. Okay, next what I'm going to do, I am declaring another variable called student2. As you see here, struct followed by the structure name student, and the variable name is student2 over here. Now what I'm going to do is, here the student1 values I'm going to copy it to student2. Okay, so now what happens, now the structure with variable student2 will also have the name to be Shans and roll number to be 4. We'll just check out by executing it. See here, I'm just printing student1 details followed by student2 details, where I have, but I have initialized here for student1 alone. Okay, whereas student2, I'm just copying student1 variable to student2. I hope it is clear. We will just execute this program and check with the result. See, as you can see here, I have initialized student variable student1 variable name to be Shans and student1 variables roll number to be 4, and then I'm copying the student1 to student2. Okay, and hence I can, while I'm printing the value, I can see that student variable student2 also have the name to be Shans, and student2 variables roll number is also 4, and I'm making a comparison over here with the members of student1 and student2. Okay, so as both the member are same, this line will be executed and hence we get the result to be same. Okay, I hope this concept is clear now. Now let's see about array of structures. So here in array of structures, let's consider we have the structure student which has the name, roll number, remark and mark to be the members or element of the structure. Okay, so if you want to keep 100 students record, then we should have the variables as ST1, ST2, ST3, ST4 up to ST100. In this situation, we can easily use array of structures to store the 100 students record just by giving ST of 100 inside the square brackets. Okay, so the declaration is as such here. Struct student followed by a open curly braces, and inside which we have the members of that structure student. Okay, and here finally we have the closing parenthesis followed by the array of variables. Here st is a variable which can hold 100 records. So now let's see this program to take the roll number, first name, last name of 5 students or 3 students, okay, and then print the records in ascending order on the basis of roll number, okay. We'll just see this to be executed in the code blocks. Here is your program for array of structures. So as our program, we are going to get the first name, last name and roll number of 3 students as far as this program is concerned, okay. So here it is enough that you can give the student variables of 3 variables alone, okay. So next, coming into your main. So generally when you're using your arrays concept, okay, when you want to get students mark, say some 5 subjects or 6 subjects, what we do is that we generally use a for loop. For I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. N is nothing but the number of subjects marks that you are going to get from the user, and then you put a scanf statement and then you get the values and store it in a specified array. This is for array where you can hold it for a single data type. Whereas coming to the structures, we have a different data type. So again, for array of structures, we are going to use the same for loop concept to get the values from the user. So here I'm using for I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, which means I'm going to get 3 records starting from 0, 1, 2. Okay, and I'm going to increment the counter each time I get the value. So printf, here enter the roll number. I'm getting the roll number from the user. So when the iteration or the loop is being executed for the first time, it goes and stores the value for st of 0 variable. Okay, so your variable here are st of 0, st of 1 and st of 2, in which it is going to have these values. Okay, so for first, when I'm going to enter the roll number, it will be stored in st of 0, the roll number, and then I'm going to get the first name, similarly last name. Similarly, I repeat this for all the 3 structure variables. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, as far as our program is concerned, we are going to print the record in accordance with the roll number in ascending order. So what I'm going to do is that you can enter here. It's not necessary that we need to enter the roll number in ascending order. We'll be entering it in the way as we like. Okay. So here I'm going to just sort the structure members by using the for loop in accordance with your roll number. So what I'm going to do here is, as we do a sorting concept only, I'm having 2 for loops. This is our outer for loop. This is for your inner for loop. So with related to your roll number, I'm going to check the condition whether st of, so for the first iteration, st of 0 dot roll number is greater than st of j is nothing but I plus 1, which is 0 plus 1 is 1. So first I'm making a comparison with 0 with the next roll number of 1. And when this condition is going to be true, then I'm going to sort it, which is nothing but swapping the roll numbers of contents of this st of 1 with st of 0. So similarly, I sorted for all the roll numbers and then I'm going to print. When I want to print all the 3 records, I have to again use a for loop. Okay, so here I am printing the roll number. Now everything will be sorted, and henceforth when I print, I will be getting the result in the ascending order. I mean, the same thing what we have executed over there has been given here. So by reading the values, you use a for loop for 5 values, whereas I have shown there with 3 values, and then you sort the values in accordance with your roll number, and then you are printing it. Okay, similarly you can try out with the questions for employee details. Okay, these are your try out questions. Okay, next we will be seeing array within a structure. So we have seen how to use array of variables for a structure. Now we will see array within a structure. So here you can see this mark, okay, which which has 6, which means here you are going to get 6 marks for this student. Okay. So the member contains 6 elements starting from mark 0 to 5. So for example, if I have S25 mark 3, which will refer to the mark obtained by 4th subject by 26th student. Okay, so here I have given the structure variables or the array of structure to be S of 100, which holds 100 record. Okay, so for each record you will be getting the name, roll number and the subject marks. Okay, and we can access any of the record marks by using the dot operator like this. Okay, so for this, entering the information about the student. Okay, here I'm going to get the name of that student using a for loop only. I'm going to get for 100 records, you can get the values like this. Okay, next I am getting their class section, but coming inside your subject, here I have another for loop which gets mark of the students of 5 subjects. Okay, and then I am storing it in an array. So this is an array within this structure. So I have for each record I am going to get 6 marks inside this structure using an array. This is array within a structure. Okay. Next we will see structure within another structure, which is nothing but nested structure. Let's consider a structure personal record to store the information of the person. Okay. So here, so this is a main structure which is going to hold the person's record like name, okay, date of birth, month of birth, year of birth, salary also. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to split this main structure into a substructure, another structure. Okay. So here as you can see, I have a substructure called date which holds the date, birth date details alone of the personal record of a person. Okay, so this is my substructure struct keyword followed by the structure name to be date here, and inside the curly braces I have given the members like date of birth, month of birth and year of birth. Okay, all to be an integer variable. Okay, so for this substructure I have to access this substructure only through the main structure. So inside the main structure I will be giving or declaring the substructures variable. So here the substructure variables birthday. Okay, so I can declare it as struct followed by the structure name and the variable for this substructure is birthday. Okay, so now let's see how to access this variable of substructure through this main structure person. Okay, so we will see this example in code blocks. Here the same concept of getting the details of name of the person. Okay, getting the birthday. As you can see here, when you want to get the day of birth, here I have to access the person dot birthday dot day of birth. Okay, I'll just explain this in this code block. So this is an example for nested structure. As I have said, this is your substructure. Okay, struct followed by the name of the structure to be date. Okay, and I have the variable of this substructure defined inside my main structure. Okay, so this is the birth date is the variable of this structure date, and for this main structure the variable name is person. So when I want to access these members, I can access it through the variable of main structure. So as you can see here, I'm getting the details of the person and I'm going to display it in this program. So enter the name. I'm just going to access the main structure. So hence I can access it by using person dot name. Person dot name. But whereas coming to the accessing of substructure using date, month and year, I have to access it through the main structure. So here as you can see, I'm going to get the details to store it here. So through this structure only. So person dot variable is a person over here. Okay. Dot another variable of the substructure birthday dot the elements or the variables of the substructure is given over here. Okay. Similar thing is being followed for month of the birth and year of the birth. Okay. And then I'm getting it for the salary, which is from the main structure itself. So person dot salary will do. Okay. Then I'm printing the details, whatever I have got from the user. So for printing also the same concept follows. While I want to print, I'm just printing it as person dot name. Okay. While I want to print the day of birth, I have to access as person dot birth date dot day of birth. Okay. And then I'm just printing the salary alone. Here I have given only the date of birth. Similarly, you can give it for month of birth and year of birth. Let's execute this program and check out. Enter the name. And date of birth, month of birth, and year. And salary sum 25,000 I'm entering. Okay. So now you can see the details we have entered here. Person's name is Aditya, day of birth alone. Here I have given only the day of birth. Okay, only the day of birth I am printing it here, and hence I am having the day of birth date alone. Okay, similarly, if you want to print for month and year, you can just use it by including two printf statements. Okay, and this is how nested structure concept is being